Good morning, kids. Today we're checking out a brand new video from Outside Xbox of 7 terrifying bosses you got to play as. Let's hop in.
In video games, there is one type of enemy that we fear above all others.
The boss.
Super powerful with special weapons and attacks, and usually their own cutscenes to establish their dominance, bosses are the epitome of intimidation, which is why it's such a treat when a game offers us a chance to play as these gods.
Hold on, folks. There we go. I want to increase the quality a little bit for myself and y'all.
A little of that power for ourselves. Here are 7 terrifying video game bosses that you also got to play as. Enjoy, and beware spoilers ahead for the following games.
Spoilers for Gears of War, Village, Batman: Arkham Origins, Hyrule Warriors, Devil May Cry 3, Super Smash Bros, and Final Fantasy. General Ram?
Gears of War is full of horrifying monstrosities, so wildly, grossly out of proportion that they're deeply unsettling to look at. Yes, I'm talking about Marcus Phoenix and his massive friends.
You! Traitor like you doesn't deserve to wear the uniform.
Looks to me like you need all the help you can get.
Not a single neck between them.
Ha.
In fact, the hostile forces of the Locust, who spend the entire game battling, look much the same, only with lizardy skin and weird faces. All that is except the truly terrifying leader of the Locust forces, General Ram, with his big gothic coat and an underbite for the ages.
Wow, that is a big underbite.
Maybe someone told him biting your lip was sexy and he just picked the wrong lip. Ram serves as the final boss in the original Gears of War, standing his ground on a speeding train as your squad attempts to deliver the light mass bomb to destroy the Locust's outer hollows. He's such a hard bastard that it took literally yeeting the train along with his corpse into a big pool of goopy emulsion to ensure he wasn't coming back for some sort of post-credits reveal.
And, oh yeah.
The Gears of War 3 DLC, called Ram's Shadow, gives us an idea of why they wanted to be sure. While you mainly play as the human Zeta squad, you also get a few opportunities to play as Ram himself. And let me tell you, this guy is a one-man wrecking crew.
Smash through their defenses.
Oh, damn.
Battering Ram. I get it. Ram has his enormous knife for close-range combat and is protected from bullets by a whirling swarm of krill, who will happily absorb incoming fire. Perhaps most formidable is his ability to fire those krill towards enemies from a distance, instantly turning them into a person smoothie.
Cleanse the area of all opposition.
And if you were in any doubt as to just how evil General Ram is, the human characters in this DLC are rescuing a bunch of children from an orphanage. Not only but the orphanage is called the Children's School of Hope.
Oh no.
Oh, thank God, Gears. I thought we'd never get out of time.
Bit on the nose. Does Ram have a nose? It's not important.
I think he has nose holes.
Time to hunt.
Wait, what? You can actually play as Lady Dimitrescu?
Let's wrap this up quickly.
When Capcom's Resident Evil Village was first announced, there was one thing that most fans were focusing on. No, it wasn't the return of protagonist Ethan Winters, or the apparent betrayal of Chris Redfield, or even the fact that it apparently had werewolves in it.
It was Big Booba Vampire Mommy.
I regret to inform you that Ethan Winters has escaped that fool Heisenberg.
Standing 9'6" in her high heels and having a personality that consists of moany innuendo and hurling furniture about the place, people were drawn to Lady D, despite the fact that she is an objectively terrifying monster who spends a good portion of the early part of the game trying to impale you or cut off your limbs, and sometimes succeeding.
Oh god! Oh, now is not the time for that. Be right back. And we're back.
And so it was a banner day for certain fans of Resident Evil Village when the Mercenaries Extra Orders DLC was announced to include, for the first time ever, playable Lady Dimitrescu. Even though she was just a selectable character for the bonus Time Attack Mercenaries mode, it's extremely cool to take control of Lady D and get a proper look at what she
Oh, and you can even play as Heisenberg. Ooh! Love
Obviously, there are your standard claw attacks.
Man, is she gigantic.
But she also has what is known as a thrill gauge, which, when filled to various levels, allows you to summon swarms of flies, her daughters, And of course, hurl a dresser across the room.
Ooh.
You can also apply lipstick.
Don't resist. Yes! More!
Oh my god.
Down glasses of wine. Take note, all future playable Resident Evil characters. This is how it's done.
Having a little trouble up there?
Joker.
You're
Really? You get to play as a Joker on that game?
There's no escape,
okay.
Joker.
silly bat. I don't want to escape. I'm having way too much fun. I even have you here to give a smile on my face.
Well,
In
you're
the
always
Batman game's
smiling.
dark, brooding atmosphere, the Arkham series Rogues Gallery appear to be competing for the title of scariest Batman villain. There's the Scarecrow, obviously, but he's a bit straightforward. There's Two-Face,
yeah.
but he's really only 50% scary. And then there's Killer Croc, who certainly commits to the jump scares.
Click.
You are not welcome here.
But doesn't actually want to commit to murdering you.
I don't need to fight you, Batman. I just need to wait, and then I will feed on your corpse.
Your name is Killer
Good luck.
Croc, not wait around until they die, Croc. What the hell? For our money, though, the scariest Batman villain is actually the Joker, because he's a lethal combination of intelligent, calculating, and yet totally unpredictable.
You fell for the old fake Joker gang, Batman.
Talia!
I'm sorry, beloved.
Damn.
I didn't know.
Encore! More! Bravo!
And wake
You know,
up,
I'm also
Clayface.
starting to think this Joker guy isn't that funny. Do we need to rename all of the Batman villains? One of the more unpredictable things Joker does over the
not
course
really.
of the first Arkham game is to fire a shot of the unstable Titan toxin into his chin, turning him into a giant, muscular version of himself and acting as the final boss.
Downside, he's killing himself slowly now. Oh, wait, that was a spoiler. Whoops! Sorry.
Again, not finding this terribly funny. When Arkham Origins arrived 4 years later to tell a prequel story, imagine our surprise when for a brief period in the story mode, as Joker is talking to Dr. Harleen Quinzel, we stepped into the pointy, probably
Harleen
purple shoes of the
Quinzel.
Clown Prince himself. And in spite of his skinny frame, he proves himself
Comedy
more
club.
than capable
Huh.
of taking care of an entire room full of thugs.
Isn't it funny how one little encounter can cleave off little pieces of your past, deform your memories and persona to rethink your whole identity?
What he lacks in punchlines, he
Damn.
makes up in punching lines of men.
I get
Joker
it,
is also
I get it.
playable in the game's multiplayer and Predator challenge modes. Though if you're playing a silent takedowns only run, it's less an expert display of martial arts and more him running around kicking people in the crotch and doing a little dance.
Oh! And of course he goes
perfect
for
new
the
name for
crotch. What are you, Denji?
Dancing testicle smasher. But is it too literal?
This
Oop,
is
hold on folks, we'll be right back. And we're back. Ganondorf in Hyrule Warriors.
If you've ever
Great
played a Zelda
sword.
game, you'll be familiar with Ganon, perennial series boss, hogger of the Triforce of Power, and Ginger Icon. Generally, you'll only encounter Ganon in the game's final boss fight, first in his human form as Ganondorf, and then at some point in one of his other forms, such as the pig-like Ganon.
Ganon.
But for all those Zelda games over all those years, all players could do was fight Ganon. There were scant options to play as him until 2014's Hyrule Warriors came along. The most warmly received of all the
2014?
Dynasty Warriors-style
Damn.
spin-offs, Hyrule Warriors blended Omega Force's overblown hack and slash with all the charm and whimsy of the Zelda universe. It also included a large cast of playable characters taken from heroes from across the series, along with a few notable villains sprinkled into the mix, such as our boy Ganondorf. As
Oh,
you'd
yeah.
expect, having battled him in countless Zelda games, Ganondorf is slow but super strong, and fights with 2 swords, or a trident, as well as magic, being able to use a shadow hand attack to slam enemies into the ground.
Oh, that is pretty good.
He can also summon down lightning from the sky, and fittingly for the wielder of the Triforce of Power, is one of the most powerful characters in the game.
Damn, man.
If that's not enough for you, the
Huh,
sequel,
so I guess they all
Hyrule
hold
Warriors
it up.
Age of Calamity, allows you
Okay.
to unlock a playable version of Calamity Ganon, the final boss of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. A similarly brutal powerhouse with the key distinction that he's on fire all the time.
Oh, that is kind of cool.
Hasn't improved his temperament at all, if you were wondering.
Oh, well, yeah, of course it wouldn't. Oh, yeah, Virgil. Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition.
Who then bears twin sons. That's the story, isn't it?
Imagine having been introduced to half-demon dreamboat Dante in Devil May Cry 1, only for it to be revealed later on that he has an equally handsome identical twin brother.
Bum bum! Is that him? I can't tell.
These guys won the genetic lottery and then split the winnings. Having been corrupted by a demon
Okay.
called Mundus, Dante's blue coat-wearing brother Virgil is the on-again, off-again antagonist in the series, and in his Nello Angelo form, he acts as the boss of the first game.
Oh, okay.
Seems a little more than the usual sibling bickering. Confusingly, the third game in the series, Devil May Cry 3 Dante's Awakening, actually serves as a prequel to the first game. And in it, we get to see how Virgil
okay.
ended up at odds with Dante and eventually cast into the demon world to face Mundus.
If my father did it, I should be able to do it too.
Good luck. That's a foot. There was a stone foot in the background.
Just because your dad knew how to do something doesn't mean you do. Just look at literally any of my attempts at DIY. The game was re-released a year later in 2006 as Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition, and with it came the option to play through the entire game on a separate save file as Virgil. Later in the game, you even get to play as Virgil's terrifying Nello Angelo alter ego, complete with the exact same moveset that gave you nightmares in the final boss battle of the first game.
Okay, that's cool. Damn, you could just Goomba
Before you
stomp the
get too
guy?
excited, though, this wasn't a whole new storyline giving us greater insight into Virgil's motivation. All the cutscenes were removed, and in the in-game scripted scenes, Virgil behaves exactly the same way Dante does, keepy-uppies and all.
I mean, they all twin brothers, so it just kind of makes a bit of sense.
But at the very least, you
Skill.
thought that maybe the boss battles against Virgil would have been swapped out for someone else. Nope, you end up fighting yourself, only now the Virgil boss is wearing red instead of blue, so you know which one is you. But as we all know, red is what your identical twin Dante wears. Guys, I'm gonna blow
So
your
you're
mind.
fighting Dante
There's
you?
this colour called green.
They should have gone with green. Hold on, folks, we'll be right back. And we're back.
Don't let a single one get away.
Wait, Master Hand? Huh, I didn't know you could play as him.
If the Super Smash
Oh,
Bros.
boy.
series was said to have a main enemy, most players would agree it's Nintendo's consistent refusal to allow Waluigi to be in it. If we're talking in terms of characters, though, it's definitely Master Hand, the massive disembodied gloved hand that serves as the final boss of Classic Mode in most Smash Bros. Games.
In most, not all.
Despite being just a big hand, Master Hand is a formidable opponent who will smack you silly for having the temerity to try and finish Classic Mode in a Smash Bros. Game. So much so that you'll feel like you deserve a big hand after beating him.
And you've done it.
Be careful what you wish for, is what I'd say. Anyway, rumours abounded for many years that there were secret methods to unlock Master Hand as a playable character, and even a few glitches that could be exploited to sort of make that a reality. But in 2018, Master Hand finally became playable in a special event in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's World of Light mode.
Oh, well shit, look at that. You are straight up playing the hand.
In this event, you play as Master Hand, and for a brief moment, get to experience the awesome power of just absolutely owning everyone on screen as you slap them into the middle distance, crush them with your fists, and shoot finger lasers at everyone, safe in the knowledge that you're the toughest thing on screen by a considerable margin.
Wow.
The fact that you can just sort
Not
of
have
hover
expected
and
that.
float around the place is a big plus too.
Ooh, that was close.
Once you've crushed 50 opponents, the event ends and it's back to being regular old not giant hand characters, but we'll always have those brief moments where we were crushing tiny idiots with our giant fists, like the Incredible Hulk playing Whack-A-Mole.
Nice.
All that, and we still don't know whose hand this is. Wait a minute.
Oh! What about
No
Crazy
longer
Hand
shall
then?
I sojourn toward the light. Nay, the path I intend to tread is paved with blood and darkness.
Who's this
Final
guy?
Fantasy XV's final boss, Ardyn Izunia, is a millennia-old immortal who
Ardyn
threatens the world,
Izuna,
wields
okay.
the power to turn people into demons, and worst of all, looks like he runs an online course on how to pick up women.
Oh.
I feel I've earned the right to call you Not.
I bet the one weird trick is, like, really weird. Ardyn is the guy who is basically ruining the sweet
Wonder how.
bachelor party road trip bro holiday that kicks off Final Fantasy XV. And while that isn't the most important reason he needs to be stopped, it is a reason.
Everything in order?
Yep.
Oh. That's nice.
So, as Prince Noctis, off you head with your loyal bros in tow in a quest to defeat smug jerk Ardyn, culminating in a spectacular battle where you both fly around the place like two anime heroes playing The Floor is Lava.
Level unknown.
In the end, Noctis's latent magical powers are unleashed, and in the final scene, you press a single button which creates an army of ghost knights who disintegrate Ardyn.
Bang. Okay, that is epic. Oh, that was coming out of him. Huh. Still epic. Look at this. Gone.
It's not
Reduced
that
to
immortal
atoms.
If I could destroy him by tapping a button. But there's always a chance that Ardyn is just misunderstood, and that maybe spending a bit of time playing as him would help us see things from his perspective. Well, a full 2 years after the game was released, its final DLC, Episode Ardyn, gave us the opportunity to do just that.
Time to set to work.
In it, we discovered more about his affliction called Star Scourge, which caused him to be exiled from his family, denied his royal lineage, and thrown into jail. We also learned that he has spent the last 2,000 years imprisoned, which is how we feel every time we settle in for another season of The Simpsons. So, after a 3-hour journey through Ardyn's pain and torment during the DLC, does he come across as a more understandable and relatable character? A product of his environment rather than someone inherently evil? A tragic and unwilling villain, perhaps?
Oh, come on!
Oh, I'm no mortal. I'm a monster.
I mean, or a literal monster. That works too.
The path men tread was never meant for
All right.
me. Mine is paved with blood and darkness.
Hey, thanks so much for watching this video about terrifying bosses that you got to play as. If you would
Yeah,
like
it
to watch
wasn't
more
too
of this
bad.
kind of thing, we have other videos for you. Up here is one from us. Down here is one from Outside Extra. And if you click on one of those, you get to play as your boss in real life.
Well, folks, that's going to be the end of today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below. And I'll see you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.